Imagine spending your entire adult life building something. Every paycheck, every year, brick by brick. You skip trips, you work late, you do everything right. And then, right when you're ready to enjoy it, you find out you don't fully own it. That's not a metaphor. That's retirement for millions of people. Let me explain it this way. You build a house for 40 years. You pay for the land, you pay for the materials, you take all the risk. At 65, you finally walk inside. It's beautiful, it's paid off, it's worth a fortune. Then you check the paperwork and discover you have a silent partner. They didn't lift a finger, they didn't invest $1, they didn't lose a night of sleep, but they legally own a massive chunk of it, and they get to decide later how big that chunk is. That silent partner is the government. If you've been contributing to a traditional 401k for decades, you probably log in and see a big number, maybe $800,000, maybe $1 million, and you think, I made it. You didn't. You're not looking at wealth, you're looking at a pre-tax balance. A large part of that money already has a claim on it, it just hasn't been collected yet. My name is Bobby. I spend an unhealthy amount of time thinking about financial advice that sounds safe, but quietly creates risk. And today, we're not talking about stock returns. We're talking about the tax bomb hiding inside retirement accounts. Here's the part no one explains when you're 22 and filling out HR paperwork. A traditional 401k is not just an account, it's a deal. You put in the money, you take all the market risk. If the market crashes, that's on you. But if it grows, that's when the government shows up. And here's the dangerous part. The tax rate you'll pay does not exist yet. You're agreeing today to a rate politicians will decide 30 years from now. That's not a contract, that's a blank check. People love to say, I'll be in a lower tax bracket when I retire. That advice worked decades ago for people who retired broke. But let me ask you something. Do you plan to be broke? Social Security and forced withdrawals from retirement accounts. Success can actually push your taxes up in retirement. Now zoom out. We're sitting on historic government debt. Major entitlement programs are under pressure. And today's tax rates? They're low by historical standards. Do you really believe, honestly, that future tax rates will be lower? Because if you save 22% today and pay 40% later, that's not strategy, that's a loss. Let's say you retire with $2 million in a traditional account. You don't even want to withdraw much. Doesn't matter. At a certain age, the IRS forces withdrawals. Those withdrawals raise your income, which makes more of your Social Security taxable, which raises your Medicare premiums. One decision from decades ago starts triggering penalties you never planned for. This isn't a theory, it's math. So why do people love traditional 401ks so much? Simple. It feels good now. You see a smaller tax bill today and your brain calls it a win. But it's not tax avoidance, it's tax delay. You didn't make the problem disappear, you postponed it and let it grow. Legislative risk. There's another risk people ignore, control. Congress controls when you can access the money, how much you must take out, and how it's taxed. If the government ever needs revenue, retirement accounts are easy targets. They're visible, they're documented, and they can't move. Putting all your wealth there is betting your future on political restraint. That's a bold bet. So, what's the alternative? Think in terms of ownership. Pay tax on the seed, not the harvest. Roth accounts let you do exactly that. Yes, it hurts today. Your paycheck is smaller. But in exchange, future you owns everything. No silent partner, no guessing, no surprises. And taxable brokerage accounts? They offer flexibility, liquidity, and often lower tax rates than retirement withdrawals. Now, important point. If your employer offers a match, take it. That's free money. But beyond the match, blindly maxing out a traditional 401k is lazy advice. Smart planning means tax diversification. Multiple buckets, multiple options, control. Inheritance and freedom. One last thing people don't talk about. What happens when you're gone? Traditional retirement accounts can become a tax nightmare for your kids. Compressed timelines, peak earning years, massive tax bills. The wrong account can erase decades of effort. And before retirement, that money is locked. If life changes, you don't have options. Freedom matters. Here's what to do. Look at your retirement balance. Now, mentally subtract 30%. That's closer to what you actually own. If that makes you uncomfortable, good. Switch future contributions where you can. Use Roth options. Build taxable investments. Stop optimizing for this year's refund. Start optimizing for your entire life. Retirement accounts aren't evil, but they are powerful tools with sharp edges. And in a world desperate for revenue, you don't want your life's work to be the easiest solution. Own your future. If this made you rethink your strategy, share it with someone who needs to hear it. I'll see you in the next one.